American 11, are you trying to call?
The cockpit is not answering their phone. Our number 1 is in Sept, and our 5 is in Sept.
I'm going to call from Washington. I am in a situation with American 11, a possible hijack.
What's going on, Betty? The aircraft is erratic again. Problem, very erratic. Betty, talk to me. Betty, are you there? Betty? Betty?
The plane just What? The 737?
What?
The World Trade
Who are you
Center.
talking to?
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
United 175, New York. We have some problems over here right now. We might have a hijack over here, 2 of them.
Jules, this is Ryan. Listen, on an airplane that's been hijacked. If things don't go well, and it's not looking good, I just want you to know I absolutely love you. I want you to do good. Go have a good time. Same to my parents and everybody. And I just totally love you, and I'll see you later. Bye, babe.
What are those people going to do? All the elevators are blocked out.
Oh my God. So both towers are now.
Okay, now I got an aircraft 6 miles east of the White House.
Crystal City, just north of Crystal City.
Just to the north of your town.
Yeah, stop all departures.
Pentagon just got hit. Don't for me in that. God damn, I can't even protect my NCA.
United 93, that traffic for you is 1 o'clock, 12 miles eastbound 370.
Negative contact, we're looking, United 93.
United 93, Cleveland, if you hear the center right then.
I got that piece of dog. Keep remaining steady. You have the ball, boss.
Tuesday, 9:47 a.m.
Hi, baby. Baby, you have to listen to me carefully. I'm on a plane that's been hijacked. I'm on the plane. I'm calling from the plane. I want to tell you I love you. Please tell my children that I love them very much. And I'm so sorry, babe. I hope to be able to see your face again, baby. I love you. Bye.
We're 56865. We have, I believe it is a Boeing 757. Can you see him up there, sir?
That's confirmed. It looks like he's rocking his wings.
Roger.
He's rocking back and forth.
We're 56865. I advise you stay away from that aircraft. Go north as fast as you can.
United 93, have you got information on that yet?
Yeah, he's down.
He's down?
Yes.
When did he land?
He did not land.
Oh, he's down?
Yes,
Down?
somewhere up northeast of Camp David.
Sean, it's me. I just want to let you know I love you, and I'm stuck in this building in New York. There's lots of smoke, and I just wanted you to know that I love you always.
At number 2 World Trade Center, right. Ladies and students in the office, we're not ready to die, but it's getting bad.
I'm on the 83rd floor. I'm gonna die, aren't I? No. I'm gonna die.
Ma'am, say your prayers.
God.
We're gonna think positive because you gotta help each other get off the floor.
I'm
Now,
gonna die.
A new type of war. That's what it is.
Well, Wolf, we have now learned that the national security team was able to see some real-time video of this assault taking place from the White House Situation Room. The assault involved 4 choppers, about 24 commandos, and they were in and out within 40 minutes. But that's because this special ops team practiced assaulting a mock compound several times, and they were told going in, don't expect these people to surrender. They will fight you hard. And true to that, Osama bin Laden died with a gun in his hand. For years, everyone assumed Osama bin Laden would live out his days or die in the rugged mountains along the Afghan border. For all intents and purposes, he was killed in the suburbs, less than 40 miles from where the president of Pakistan lives. There are no rocky caves near bin Laden's compound in Abbottabad, but there are golf courses in the Pakistan Military Academy. And his house was 8 times bigger than any home in the neighborhood.
Thinking about that from a visual perspective, here is bin Laden, who has been calling for these attacks, living in this $1 million-plus compound, living in an area that is far removed from the front.
The 3-story building was built about 6 years ago. A courier and his brother lived on the first floor of another building. Bin Laden's family occupied the top 2 floors of the main building. Unlike other neighbors who took their trash out, these people burned theirs inside the compound. And if 2 main gates weren't enough to discourage visitors, opaque windows shielded the inside. And there was an 18-foot wall surrounding the outer part of the compound. It stood out. And a U.S. intelligence official says, given how bad al-Qaeda's finances are, they would only spend this kind of money for one of their top 2 commanders. So in effect, bin Laden was the engineer of his own destruction. That end began with U.S. military helicopters swooping in, an assault team entering from multiple locations. A team of Navy SEALs fast roped down to the ground, searching for Geronimo, their code name for bin Laden.
And they're going room to room, very methodical, engaging targets and, completing the mission. But it's a really intense, personal, up close and personal type of operation.
High above, multiple American planes and unmanned drones were flying just outside Pakistani airspace, ready to fire if the team needed help. CIA Director Leon Panetta was quarterbacking the mission in constant secure radio contact with the assault team. And back at the White House, the president was anxiously monitoring events. Few officials even said a word.
The minutes passed like days, and the president was very concerned about the security of our personnel.
Back on the ground, the assault team was fighting its way through the main building. 2 women were wounded in the firefight, and there were children inside. At one point, one of the residents grabbed Osama bin Laden's wife against her will.
She fought back when there was the opportunity to get to bin Laden. She was positioned in a way that indicated that she was being used as a shield.
She was shot and died. The SEALs killed the 2 men defending bin Laden and his son. Even bin Laden himself shot back. But with a shot to the head, the SEALs took him out. While all this was going on, one of the U.S. helicopters had trouble. The team made the call to destroy it there on the ground and hustled the women and children out before detonating the aircraft. And we're told there was an audible sigh in the Situation Room by the National Security Team when that team did make it out safely with bin Laden's body. And there was also sheer awe at what they had just been able to accomplish. Now, they didn't spend that entire 40 minutes fighting. Some of that time was spent collecting papers and material, what one intelligence official calls a robust amount of information and intelligence that they now hope to exploit to go after other members of al-Qaeda.
So you start on the first floor, make your way up to the third?
We started on the first floor. They cleared that. There was, at the end of a long hallway on the first floor was a barricaded door, which is another sign that someone important is inside. The guys ahead of me, they used their methods of entry, a couple different attempts, and they opened it. And then we started going up the stairs from the first floor to the second floor. On the way up, the analyst had told us we would run into Khalid bin Laden, Osama bin Laden's son, and she said if we see him, that he's the last line of defense. Mm-hmm. Well, if he's armed, and he was armed, and so he was, we eliminated the threat there, continued up to the second floor, and when I was about 8 guys, the 8th guy back maybe. Once we got to the second floor, the guys in front of me, all except for the 1 man, started to clear the threats on the second floor. We're going to secure that floor until we move up. So I moved my way up to the second position behind the first man, and he was pointing up the stairs to the third floor. And there was a curtain on the top of the floor, and there was some movement behind it with unknown silhouettes. He was getting concerned that they would have explosives or putting on vests or they're rigging something, and he was letting me know, not me know, letting the guy behind him know that it just turned out to be me, that there was a threat at the top of the stairs and we need to go now. I wanted more people, but he was spot on, so I gave him a squeeze on his shoulder. He went up, I went up behind him. We went through the curtain. The threats, the unknowns turned out to be some females. He sort of grabbed onto them and he pushed them a little bit down the hallway, falling on them to absorb the blast that he knew was going to happen, so he gave his life so the guy behind him could get a shot. From there, when he pushed the women, I turned to the right into a doorway, and the doorway led to a bedroom, and in the bedroom was Osama bin Laden a matter of feet in front of me. And he had his hands on his wife's shoulders. He was not surrendering. He was sort of moving, and just based on the level of threat of him not surrendering and the likelihood of him having a vest, I engaged him. I shot him twice in the head. He fell on the floor. I shot him one more time, and I killed him.
In that brief moment you had with him, did you get a sense of him at all? Was it like, this is the world's most evil man, or was it, this is a coward, this is just another guy? What did it feel like?
The sense was a recognition of, first of all, an ID of him, and then he's a threat. And then I had to shoot him. And it wasn't the first time I'd done that on a target before. You know, this wasn't the first target I'd been on. And at that point, it was a target. I recognized the threat. I recognized the individual we were after, which was Osama bin Laden, and I engaged.
A sniper friend of mine wants to ask you, what did it feel like?
At that minute, it was just, it felt like that was the initial threat that I had to take care of, and then there were more threats. Threats aren't always, threats are just potential unknowns. There were two more. Well, there was a woman and then there was a child. I wanted to put them in a place where they weren't in danger, so they went on the bed, and then there were other spots that needed to be cleared. It wasn't until the room was fully cleared and there were more SEALs in the room that it kind of hit me, and it just felt like I had a moment of pause. And I talked to a friend of mine who was in the room, and he came up to me and he put his hand on my shoulder, and I said, "Hey, what do we do now?" And he kind of smiled and he goes, "Now we go find the computers." And I said, "Okay, I'm back. That was quite a thing that just happened."